Hi, we're Greg and Lori Duncan, and when we started this business, I was actually a full-time medical student, and
I was a dental hygienist, and he was a kept man, so he was in school. I was working full-time. We saw the business. Greg actually saw it first, and it took me about a month to come on board. But I did go to all the meetings and everything, and was committed to helping Greg. So it just took me about a little bit longer than you, but.
It's funny because we weren't looking and we weren't looking, and that we were very busy, we were very consumed, and medicine was a big deal to us, and that's what we wanted to pursue, but we also knew that it took our entire life, and we didn't want to give up our whole life. We eventually wanted to find something that could replace medicine as an income and give us control of our lives. I married my favorite person in the world, so I wanted to have a life with her, and we find most professions take away from that, and so we were looking. We had no idea exactly what we were looking for, but that's what I encourage you to do. Hey, whether this business fits everything you ever imagined or not, the concept of duplication, everything is so different that, let me just ask you this, if 10% of this is true, well, I'll tell you, you're an idiot not to take a look at this. You're crazy not to, and that's what we finally realized, and that's what we've gotten out of the business. There are people that resisted us at first, because it's crazy and it's different, it's duplicatable, and whether you work as a hygienist or I was a construction laborer through college and going into medicine, you still only get paid for what you do, and so what was very hard for us along the way is that people resisted the idea because it was different. We had people that, didn't like what we were doing or thought it was crazy, right?
That's right, and it took me way out of my comfort zone. I wasn't comfortable getting on the telephone, talking to people, but I put myself out there, and the results of doing that is I'm a happier person because I was surrounded by a sphere of influence of people that are looking forward and excited on a daily basis of where they're heading with their life. And that's a huge thing. I mean, we've been rewarded richly and abundantly from the business in doing this. We're so excited about that. The biggest rewards have been we've been able to empower and enrich so many other people's lives. So it gives you a great sense of satisfaction.
It's great, but that's why along the way the hurdles are worth it because, you got a full-time job, we were full-time medical school, stuff like that. I mean, you're tired, don't have time. Let me just ask you this. If it worked, wouldn't you give up anything? We give up TV, everything else. A lot of people said, man, your life's out of balance. Out of balance? You look at your checkbook. I'll show you out of balance. And today, instead of missing TV and missing games and missing sports and missing activities, we sit on the front row of Broadway shows and plays and ballets and sit on the 50-yard line of games and enjoy a life. It was worth giving up everything, and it will be to you. Ask yourself some tough questions. Don't be nice to the people that ask you to look at this. Be mean to them. Ask the toughest questions you can, because if it works, you're crazy not to not get into it, and you're crazy not to ask important questions that will affect the rest of your life. We'll look forward to meeting you.
Come join us.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Crandall. I'm from Jamaica, Yaman, and my previous occupation, I was an executive assistant.
And my name is Ty Crandall, and this is my beautiful wife, Vanessa, and we got married in Jamaica not too long ago. And before this business, I was in construction. I used to deal with restoration services, and, like a house would get flooded or a fire, and I'd have to come in there and fix it up, and it was a lot of work dealing with employees, and I was always keeping my options open, looking for something different because I felt like I was in a rat race. I didn't really feel like I owned the business. I felt like the business owned me, and I wanted to be free. I was sick and tired of having to show up to work, leave, be the first one there, be the last one to leave all the time, and I just didn't want to, I didn't see myself doing that till I was 60, so I saw this business from a friend of mine who was a pilot. He flies UPS for UPS, and he flies to Asia back and forth. And he basically told me about a way I could get out of the rat race, and I was totally open to seeing anything. And when I saw this, that was 4 years ago, and now we don't have to work anymore as far as doing construction anymore. This is our full-time income, and it's been great because we don't have employees. We don't have to deal with anybody as far as employees. We just get to own our business and be free to travel, like this great trip that we're on right now.
Yes, and the same here for me personally. I mean, coming from Jamaica, there's not much opportunity there for you to be able to branch off and really, take the lid off your income. And when I saw this business, it was just, my back was already against the wall. I was already making minimum wage, and there's this funny saying that, when you hit rock bottom, there's no other direction to go but up. So this business for me, it was a way out. I definitely I was more than keeping my options open. I had no alternative. I had no background. Oh my gosh, I wish I had a trust fund. I didn't have any of those opportunities. So for me, this business, I didn't play around with the opportunity. I just went for it. I grabbed it, and today I'm just excited that I made that decision to not only make the decision but stick to the course. And I'm so excited for the future and what's gonna happen.
Well, struggles and hurdles, absolutely. There was many struggles and hurdles. But in life, there's struggles and hurdles. We always have to overcome things in whatever we do, whether it's raising children in our marriage, working with family members, anything that you do, you're going to have struggles. And just through reading books and listening to a lot of CDs and educating myself, one thing I came to realize is that the struggles that I had were very similar to other people that were successful in life in any business venture. So that gave me a lot of hope, and that gave me a lot of willingness to go ahead and get through them, knowing that there was going to be greener grass on the other side, right? And a mentor of mine always said, the bigger price you pay, the bigger prize you have. And that price doesn't necessarily mean money. It can mean time. It can mean working with individuals. It can mean having stresses that you have to figure out a solution to. And every time you work on that prize, so to speak, and you pay that price, your prize gets bigger and bigger, right? So Vanessa which is my wife, we always knew we wanted to have a big prize, not just in money, but we want to have relationships, we want to have vacations, we want to have all kinds of mentorship in our life, and we knew in order to have that, we were going to have to go through the price tag. And the price tag is the struggles and the hurdles. So every time we have something that we have to overcome, we don't look at it as something that, oh my gosh, now we have to work on this, or oh no, now we have to deal with this problem. It's like almost a benefit, and we go, wow, this is great. And we know if we work on this and we fix this, it's going to build our future, right? So we didn't look at it as something that was unfun. But what were some of the struggles? Well, obviously we work with people all the time, and sometimes people don't say they're going to do, sometimes people say they're going to do something, and then they don't go ahead and do what they say, right? So we had to work on finding the right people. So that's always been a struggle. It's going through a lot of different people that might let you down to find that one person out of 100 that's going to be like you, so to speak, right? Other struggles were financial struggles. Sometimes finances were a problem. And we had different bills and debts and things like that we had to work on, and just like anybody else. So how did we overcome that? We had mentorship. We had people that sat down with us and helped us work out a budget, helped us streamline our budget, helped us get out of debts and different things like that, so that we could overcome those types of things, right? Other struggles obviously were people out there that we were talking to and working with had so many other options they thought they had. And when we were working with people, it was sometimes hard to find a way to communicate to them so that they'd understand what we were doing, and we didn't seem like some person that was trying to sell them something. And the main thing that really helped me overcome those types of things was working on my people skills, and it was a mentorship that I was plugged into that got me education and got me around the people that knew what they were doing, so that I could go ahead and overcome everything that I was facing as far as working with people. So people skills was definitely an issue for me, and the mentorship is what got me through that. Having success in this business has meant a life without having to go to a job, not having to wake up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I love sleeping in, and so does my wife. So can you imagine being able to sleep in every day of the week? 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. Success for me in this business has been freedom. I don't know if you remember a feeling when you got out of school, say July, and you got, July and August off, and you were free for that summer. Remember that feeling that you got when a kid? Can you imagine waking up every morning and having that feeling of freedom, knowing that you get to go do what you want to do, you're not restricted, you don't have a schedule to keep, you're not having to go rush off and please somebody. You just get to wake up in the morning and relax and do whatever you want to do. And for me, that's priceless. I mean, what would you pay for that kind of freedom your whole life, knowing that you have income coming in? For me, that means everything. And I think that's similar for my wife, but let's hear from her.
Well, somebody very, very, very wise once said that you never know how strong you are until being strong has been your only option. And being a part of this business, that's been one of my success stories, is developing my strengths in my strength zone. My husband and I are a wonderful product of our mentorship in this business. That's one of the things I would like to say that has been successful for me, was being able to earn the right of those men and women that we look up to every single day, that's leading us and helping us to create freedom. Again, growing up, I had no concept of what success is, but today I'm excited to say that this business has created a lifestyle for when we have kids, they'll never have to see a working mom. Never. This business is creating a legacy for our family, for my kids, for my mom, for my dad, for me to be able to retire them and bring them home from work. I mean, that's been on my heart, and through this business, that's the reality. So I would encourage anyone who's looking at this opportunity, don't play around. I mean, I just encourage you all to look at this, ask more questions, get the real answers, and look to the people who have the fruit on the tree. And remember, the fruit is always out on the limb. That's where you gotta go get it.
Hi, we're Jamie and David Felber, and we live in Fort Myers, Florida. My background is in bookkeeping, and David's is in business management and real estate.
So we got started in business just because we knew that it worked. My parents have been involved in this business as long as I've been alive, and we're actually second-generation business builders. And they were able to build a very successful business. You know, they had what most people dreamed of: time, money, choices, financial freedom. And I think that's really what attracted us to the business, just because we looked at our job situation and the people that were working with us, our coworkers, and nobody had that kind of lifestyle. You know, they were all controlled by lack of time and lack of money, and so we just wanted more choices. And so we got started, and we didn't have any special skill or special knowledge when we got started, but through the coaching and the mentorship and the guidance and the education process that we went through, we were really equipped with what we needed to succeed. And we just learned about mindset and the importance of thinking like a business owner. And really that's important for everybody, to come into this with the right type of mindset, because your thoughts control your actions, which control your results. And if you think right, you're going to act right, and you're going to get where you want to go. And that's exactly what happened for us. You know, we got our business started, we followed the steps, we followed the process, we plugged into the system that's available, and we were able to build success. And all that means to us is choices. To not just have time, not just have money, but to have both. And that allows us to do what we want, when we want, with who we want. And that's really why we got started, to be free. You know, it's been said that people really don't know what they want until they know what they can have. And it does take an education process to truly understand what's available in this business. And you're currently engaged in that process. And I hope you take it seriously, because you have an opportunity to connect with people that have what most people never have. They have time, they have money, they have choices. And through the mentorship and the coaching, you can learn how to have that for yourself as well. So we just encourage you to continue on this process and go for it, because really it's everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Hi, we're Alan and Jody Bedford from Northern California.
Sales and marketing is my background, and I've always felt controlled at a job with both time and money, and sometimes with very little incentive to do my best. And I've always had the burn and the desire to do more and to be more in life. And then along came this business, and as a single mom, I had to take control of my or our life. And I saw the potential, the possibility, the hope that this business had to offer, and most importantly, the example that I can lead for my daughter. And so this mentorship and support system has really taught me everything about leadership, that everything rises and falls on leadership, and that it's all earned and not given. And really anybody can do this business as long as they have a strong enough reason to. Just do it.
So I was actually a prison guard at a prison in California, and I did that for 19 years and was able to let that go about 6 years ago. And so some of the challenges that I came across building it when I had a job was that we had this thing called a draft. Now what a draft was this. You go to work for an 8-hour shift. They could call you at any time and say, hey, you're doing another 8-hour shift. So that's a total of 16 hours, basically any time they wanted to. So that made things quite interesting. So that was the whole reason I started this business in the first place, was to get control of time and money. And I just wanted to be my own shot caller. It made it really simple, though, because of the training system that we were a part of, the mentorship, the people that have gone before us to show us how to build it and show us how to, show us the way. Just made it really, really simple to do. So what I would challenge you to do is stop the thinking and start the doing.